a place where people feel like they have an accent that maybe they feel like they should be embarrassed about, or maybe they're proud of. You could look at, you could sort of talk to people about the accent. You could ask them what it means to them to sound, like you're from Birmingham or like you're from Reading. I don't know whether this is the case there, whether you're from, whether you speak Scouse or Geordie. So there's a lot of regional variation in England, I know, and also elsewhere in the UK. And it does get talked about some. And it has historically for quite a long time. People have been talking about different dialects of English in England and what they mean and what it means to speak a certain way, what it means to speak a different way. So one thing you could do is just interview people, talk to people about that. And maybe a range of people, maybe some older people, some younger people. Another thing you could do is collect some artifacts, some little, if there's little dictionaries, if there are postcards, if there are T-shirts, if there are, mugs or glasses or whatever that have, goofy spellings that are supposed to represent the local accent. You could study a few of those, see what's going on, what words are being represented. What words do people choose when they want to talk about what a local dialect is like? So that would be another idea. Another idea would be to look at situations when people, what are the situations in which people become aware that they speak differently than other people? Just to give you one example, in Pittsburgh, after the Second World War, people, the laborers who had been pretty isolated and pretty oriented towards their ethnic communities. These were immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe who had been here for a couple generations. But suddenly after the Second World War, they were unionized, and the unions were very powerful then. And these people who had been poor and isolated were suddenly making good money. And they were able to buy a car, buy a washing machine, buy all this, fancy 50s stuff. And they were also able to go on holiday. They were able to go to the beach. So they were going elsewhere from Pittsburgh. And then for the first time, people were saying, you sound funny, or where are you from? Or, what do you mean by red up? Or what do you mean by gum band or whatever? And that was one of the things that made people aware that they had an accent. So what else makes people aware that they have an accent? Does going to university, for example, make people aware that they have an accent? So that might be something to look into as well.